Oh, so much that needs to be done. So, my great-granddaughter, hi, I'm talking to you. You know who you are. Miss Izzy planted some seeds in here. Some yarrow, chamomile, and oh my gosh, I forgot the third one. But we had a good rain the other night, just like a monsoon, and I put some fertilizer down. Everything needs to be deadheaded and cleaned up. My dahlias I'm not very happy with. There's so much dahlia plant and very little dahlia flowers, although these seem to be coming out. There's lots of buds, but something is definitely eating them before they open up. So kind of high maintenance, I guess you would say. So I don't know, this is a fallen over one. And what is this? That must be something else I planted back there, and I'll have to go and check and see what that was. But anyway, there's another one of the same kind. So I had dahlias, nasturtiums, foxglove. Well, these things are Amaryllis, and lots of petunias and pansies, that some begonias, the orange and nasturtiums. So I had some gladiolas, but they've fallen over, and some budded and some didn't. This is a climbing yellow rose bush. This looks like a black-eyed Susan. But what I planted in there, I can't remember. It was, I think, a spice. So I don't know what that is from. This was a pink rose bush that's very perfumed, and I use it for tea, although the roses were here and I just deadheaded them. I didn't save them because they were too far gone for tea. I like them when they're fresh, and I was just too busy to get out here. This is a hydrangea, and I took it off of an old plant and stuck literally a stick with a very little bit of root in there. Watered it because we had a dry period. Then we got monsoons. So anyway, so this needs to, I'm going to try and put this stake over here. See if I can hold this up with an old stake from a, nope, that's not going to hold it up much. Anyway, so the dahlias are nice, but it's a lot of plant for very little bit of flower. Hydrangea thankfully made it through. This thing, not sure. This bush was over that way, and I literally picked the root ball up and stuck it there because there was a hole there from one of these huge green arborvitaes that didn't live. It turned brown. I took it down, and so I just stuck that bush there, and it's doing nicely. This is a cherry tree, kind of curling up. The green arborvitaes, I've seen them like 40 feet high at the Ladue Topiary Garden, so I know they can get probably 4 times bigger than what they are now, which is scary. So it'll be my own little secret garden in here. That'll be for sure. What I want to do in the end of the summer, and this is like August 8th maybe today, I want to take this, this is going to have the climbing pink rose. It blooms in April. That'll come across the top, and now I don't know if I'll continue to like this here or maybe get another rose that's not so thorny, because this has a bunch of stickers on it. Maybe just keep the pink one off to the side and maybe do something else that doesn't have so many thorns on it. I'm really falling in love with the Austin roses. David Austin is it? And I'll look for maybe something of like a light, either a white with some pale pink to it, but something that smells good that doesn't have a lot of stickers. The Calendula is this yellow stuff. It's what's over here as well, all that yellow. So that's Calendula and Nasturtiums. These are, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 artichokes. I've fertilized them twice and they're still just not doing that great. I need to pull some more carrots. This is a red begonia. With the heat, the leaves went green, but it was very red. And the flowers have been on there for months now. Just gorgeous. This thing, I pulled it out. It does have a little yellow flower. So I'm not exactly sure what this is. But it doesn't seem to be a wildflower. It seems to be something I planted. For the life of me, I don't know what it is. These are carrot tops. So I have lots of seeds that I need to bag up. This tomato, I need to pull some more off. These are some I planted from seed on my front porch in my greenhouse that I had in January. I keep finding apples, I think that is. Although that might be something different. Actually, that's a sunflower, so it looks like a squirrel got one of my neighbor's sunflowers. I'll probably have sunflowers growing here. This grapevine is a white seedless Concord grape, and it's delicious. But you can see most of them turned brown and just died. Which is a pity. I mean, I can pull all these off and they're delicious, which I may do, cut it all down. And what I want to do is from that archway over to here, I want to take down, that's just the top of this dogwood tree stuck in the ground. Take that out, cut that back, put some more arches in here, and have the grapevine grow on the arches. That's the plan. End of summer, beginning of the fall. This is a spaghetti squash. Haven't seen any spaghetti squashes on it. This is a butternut squash. I've already picked 2. This is my mulberry. It had lots of mulberries on it. I cut it back, which is something I do every year. And it had those Japanese new bugs on them. I don't see any now. But so I got a bunch of mulberries, even some to freeze this year, and they were bigger. But then those beetles got on there, which they also got on these cucumbers. And I haven't seen any more of those beetles, so I don't know where they went. But I didn't get this thing. I was hoping that it would take over. It didn't. Spearmint, oregano's in there. That's a vine I have to pull out. This is all spearmint. I've tried pulling these banana trees up. They're not really banana trees. They're something that looks like a banana tree, but they don't grow bananas. This is peppers, fennel. I'm hoping a lot of maybe monarch butterflies are on here growing. That would be wonderful. Lots of wildlife out here, little insects. Which I don't mind if they're not bad insects, but if they're eating my plants, yeah, I do mind. My echinacea, beautiful cones. My dill, I've harvested lots of dill. I got this started on my front porch, January, February, and now I've got some seeds in there I'm getting ready to separate from everything. This tomato really didn't do that well. I don't know, I'll move those things. These are my blueberries. I fertilized these last night. So, one more left on here. I must have it. They're really good. I did get a bag of blueberries, which is more than I usually get. But I have to find a better way to cover them than this net, which did keep the birds off. It did allow the blueberries to grow, but it stays so tangled into the blueberry plant. And when you put it on and take it off, you lose a lot of berries. So I don't know what's worse, the birds or the net. This is, I'm not sure. This is oregano. Yep, oh my gosh, this is basil, or basil. Some parsley growing in here. This is the only tomato plant I bought at the store, and I have to say, these little cherry tomatoes were just like producing like crazy. I still see some strawberries over here, but they were mushy, and so I need to get over here. I've got 2 bags of carrots. It's just the rain and the heat has just made it go crazy. I have lots of figs that haven't gotten big enough to eat yet. And I'm in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7B. And this whole side of my fig tree died and a whole nother section grew up. So I will have lots of figs to pick once they get bigger. My apples. I love my apples, but it seems like so do my squirrels, because I just found, I only see one, there's another one too, and I was going to make apple cider vinegar. There's 3. I know I had about a dozen, and this apple tree is about 10 years old. I was eating a Macintosh apple, saved the seed, put it in like a little Dixie cup, and I grew a little tree, planted it, and this is 10 years later. And I have 1, 2, I want to say 3, 4 on here now as far as apples go, but there were over a dozen. But this is what happens to them. My squirrels. I don't ever find a squirrel with one in their mouth, but yeah, they were eating them. So I don't know what I'll have to do with that, but I have to keep the squirrels off. Maybe put something so I can't climb up the tree. My grapes, I'm still harvesting. I've harvested a bunch so far. I've made umpteen. What I do, it's so simple. Pick them, clean them, put them in a pot without the stems, just the grape themselves. And I try not to get the brown grapes that were affected by, like, I don't know, like this just isn't a good grape. I want the nice, this is kind of borderline, a nice purple grape that actually matures. And pick those, put them in a pot, cook them for about 10-15 minutes, then mash them with potato masher, then strain them with a strainer, and I freeze the juice. I can make grape juice out of them or jelly. Last year I did jelly, but this past year I didn't eat that much jelly, so I'm making all grape juice, even putting some in ice cube trays. And when my great-granddaughter wasn't feeling good last year, I gave her some grape juice ice cubes to suck on to help, because she had a sore throat. So I just picked a pepper off of here. A couple more growing. These are all cherry trees. I need to harvest more string beans. Bunch out here. I'm just behind because I've been working on the grapes. So I need to do more string beans, and I have a whole nother bunch of raspberries showing up. Now some of these died. I don't know what gets into them. Maybe it's that new bug we have, but I have had this happen before. The plan is, because this thing just grows like crazy, is to take it and move it all out of here and put it over there against the wall of my garage. That way, if it comes out a little bit, I'll just mow it when I mow the grass. Right now, it's sneaking over into my neighbor's yard. So I want to remove all these raspberries. My blackberries, I hardly get them. By the time they turn black, something is in here eating them. Never got any pears this year, and I have 2 trees now. I just cut it way back because it was just all over the place. My grandmother's rose bush has 3 more roses buds on there. I moved some of my blueberry plants back here, 2 of them. This all needs to be cleaned. This is my pecan tree. I don't see any pecans on it. I've only gotten 1 so far. And I thought I saw one forming, but it's like they're so hard to find sometimes. They got all the, like these tassels on them that pollinate it, but yeah, I don't see any growing. And usually by October I see something, so not sure what's going on with that. These are Gladiolas. I think I call them wisteria sometimes. They're Wigelia. This is a butterfly bush in yellow. And this is my butterfly bush in purple. And it gets lots of monarchs on it. Again, I have lots more grapes to harvest. I just have to get out here. This is where I'm going to put all the raspberry bushes, but this all needs to be cleaned, and oh, what a job. Looks like I need to harvest some eggplants. Have a nice eggplant right there. One there, one there. Another one growing here. This is from that new bug we have that's just sucking the life right out of the leaves. And then it kills the plant. Thought I had some more cucumbers out here. Maybe I'll find some. It's overgrown all of my sage. The cucumber, that is. Oh, here's another cucumber to pick. So, I'll leave that on another day. And there's another cucumber down there. So good. With all the havoc that those new Japanese bugs are causing, I'm still getting cucumbers. I need to weed whack all of this. And back here is a watermelon going crazy. I don't know if I'll get any watermelon on it, but at least it did go everywhere. So we'll see. Anyway, that's my garden tour for now. It's a beautiful day. It must be in the 70s. Yesterday we had a bad storm come through and took it from 88 degrees right down to 66 degrees in a matter of minutes. And lots of rain. So much to always do. Wishing everybody the best of health, the best of times. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of the gas prices, sick of the expensive food prices. Even a box of tea I found was like almost $5 when it used to be 2 something. It's just ridiculous. Inflation is running just beyond what anybody can sustain their house. So I hope that if you can, you've planted a few things. And if you can't, sometimes at your local market, you can get a box of vegetables or something and freeze some tomatoes. I've frozen tomatoes and green peppers and carrots. I need to get a box of onions. I'll chop those up and freeze them so when I make chili in the winter, all I have to do is dump some out. This all needs to be cleaned up in here. This little succulent is not doing so well, but in the 4 o'clocks, that's something I had around my house when I was a kid. And again, this stuff is just everywhere. I'm not sure what it is. And these fake banana trees are beautiful if you like that tropical look. But again, I don't get any bananas. And I would love a banana off a tree like that. I'm trying to cut them down is just really, they have the most wet, fibrous roots to them and thick that, yeah, it gets a little tough to dig those out, especially at my age. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Thanks for the old subscribers. I appreciate everyone that watches. If you like this type of video, please feel free to subscribe and like if you like it. And hopefully I will be back filming another video as things get a little bit more cleaned up. All right, I hope everybody takes care, and love to everyone.